I'm excited. Are you excited? Guess where we're going? We're headed to Tennessee today. So, how long is it going to take us?
It's about 250 miles, so
it's going to be a long drive.
Tennessee and the Smoky Mountains have been on our bucket list for quite a while. So, this week we'll take you along with us to check out Pigeon Forge.
Look at all of the people.
We try a special restaurant.
We're going to go check the place out, see if it's any good.
We have to see if Gatlinburg is everything it's cracked up to be. And yeah, we're going to try some local brews. And when we hit the park for a couple of days, we'll share everything from parking to visitor centers to camping, things to do, and of course, wildlife. I think there might be a bear. If you haven't already, do us a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. And if you ring the bell, you'll get notices for our next video. Now come on, load up. We gotta get going. We've got things to do and things to see. For this trip, we chose to stay at an RV park called Bear Cove Village. While it was a cute little park, it wasn't very big, though it did have 2 swimming pools. The reason we chose it was that it wasn't one of the major parks that was right smack dab in the middle of all the hustle and bustle of traffic. While we were there, they were undergoing construction because apparently they're converting back to a Jellystone. First things first, we needed to head in and find a restaurant that was of particular interest to us. And I gotta tell you, we were a little surprised at what we found in Pigeon Forge. No one had warned us about this place.
This is the street where you drive down the street everywhere you look.
This place is a carnival on steroids. No exaggeration. There are putt-putt golf courses all over, multiple places you can ride go-karts. The buildings have the craziest designs and structures to them. There is shopping all over. There are arcades with themes. There's restaurants that also have crazy fun themes and shows. Apparently, dinner and a show, a big old performance, is a thing here. And museums. Lots of museums.
We're just like an indoor snow tubing right there. Look at the Scooby-Doo thing. What in the world? I don't even know what to... Look at all of the people.
Exciting as it was, the reason we were in town wasn't to play, but to eat.
A few years ago, we were in the Dominican Republic, and we met a gentleman from South Carolina who asked us about our last name.
He said something about you gotta stop by Puckett's Barbecue and get some Southern cooking.
And we were like, what? We don't know what you're talking about. So, we have found a Puckett's Barbecue.
We're gonna go check the place out, see if it's any good.
Yeah, act like we own the joint.
See if it's, worthy of the Puckett name.
Is it worthy? Well, let's go try some Southern barbecue.
I don't know. They're going to have to roll me back to the truck. I am so full. The barbecue was awesome. I had a brisket. Top notch.
Mine was called Piggy Mac. It was barbecue.
Pulled pork.
Pulled pork, sorry. Pulled pork with a white cheddar mac and cheese on top. So good, so rich. Oh my gosh. And I tried Don't Feed the Bears brown beer. It was very good.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'd say it was a good choice. We lived up to the name.
Absolutely.
For sure.
It was great.
Yeah, this is the section for the boys with the booties. Good morning. It is a little cold out this morning.
It is, let's say 51.
I got my nose is cold. We are headed into the Smoky Mountains.
Smoky Mountains.
We're gonna go visit the national park today. Fun fact about the national park, it is the most visited national park in the United States.
By twice. It's 2 times busier than the next national park.
That's crazy.
What's it say? 13 to 15 million
13
visitors a
13
year?
to 15 million?
Million visitors per year.
Per year. Wow. Well, I think part of the reason for that is you do not have to pay to enter Smoky Mountain National Park. There are 4 different visitor centers in the national park. One at the north, one at the south, one at the west, and then one in the middle. We're gonna start at the north end because we are coming out of Pigeon Forge.
We're gonna do Cades Cove to start with.
Okay.
I think it's an 11-mile loop. Hopefully looking for some wildlife this morning. See if we can't find some bears.
Bears. And I said I think we're gonna see a baby animal of some sort. Some sort of baby animal. What do you think it's gonna be, Steve? What baby animal?
I'm gonna guess a skunk.
A skunk. Okay. I think it would be super cool to see a baby porcupine.
There you go.
However, I have heard that the Smoky Mountains are kind of known as the salamander capital.
There's
So
like 30 species of salamander in the Smoky Mountains.
that's a lot
That's
of
a-
different species.
Weird little fun fact.
I wonder how many we can identify today. Get out that Google, what is it? ChatGPT identifier. Steve's gonna be all over that. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park sits on approximately 522,000 acres. That's 800 square miles of one of the largest protected areas in the eastern United States. Sugarlands Visitor Center is located at the north end of the park, just out of Gatlinburg, and it is filled with so much information to get started on your trip. And wait until you see what's inside. Wow, they have really cool. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Taxidermied. All kinds of things. This is probably one of my favorite visitor centers I've ever visited because of all of the taxidermied animals and the displays. Everything was so interesting and engaging, and the activities for kids, as well as the junior ranger section, was outstanding. It's only 25 miles along Little River Road to Cades Cove entrance, but plan on 45 to 60 minutes just for the drive because of the winding scenic beauty. As you enter Cades Cove, stop at the orientation shelter. There are park rangers there to answer questions, as well as some wonderful information you can pick up. I strongly suggest that you grab the Cades Cove guidebook for $1.25. Not only does it have an excellent map with all of the sites marked along the way, it also has information in order on each site for you to read about. The history of Cades Cove is fascinating, from the people who lived there and what they did to how it became a national park.
They have kiosks in Cades Cove where you can purchase a parking pass. You have to have these if you're going to stop along the road, park in one of the parking lots, go for a hike, anything that you do. Since they don't charge to enter the park, it's really not that big a deal. It costs $5 for a day pass, $15 for a week pass. You have to use your credit card, no cash. It goes right up on your dash. Don't forget to display that. You get your biscuits in trouble if you don't.
The Cades Cove Loop is only 11 miles, but with 17 historical stops, that takes you a while. Not to mention, it is one way and the traffic is very, very slow. So be prepared. Okay.
Very cool.
I think there might be a bear. I'm jumping the gun. It could just be a cow. I don't know, but it's black and it's out there
And people are
in the
moving
brush and people are going real slow. So I think it might be a bear. It's a turkey. It's not a bear, it's a turkey. Did you see it? It fanned its feathers
slow.
out.
It's a little small for a bear.
This sign really struck a chord with us. Who's Bob? Bob is every person who thinks they need to make a mark on something public. So, for those who don't know, you can get up to 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine for doing so.
Yeah, everybody's tried to be a Bob.
Hey, Steve, you looking for salamanders?
Yes, where are they?
We gotta find some salamanders. Going on a salamander hunt. We finally saw bears. We saw bears.
The mill area is an excellent place to stop about halfway through. It has walking tours with numerous historic buildings, as well as restrooms and a delightful visitor center.
Got some great stuff in here. Some sweatshirts and some stamps. And they've got postcards and stuffies and hats.
Corn was the most important crop in the cove. They used it to feed themselves, they used it to feed their animals, and they used it to make some moonshine. This is one of 2 grist mills in the area. It is open for viewing, and they have a park ranger there to explain how it works and answer questions.
Smoky Mountain National Park has more preserved historical buildings than any other place in the United States.
So that you're aware, there is 0 cell service when you come out here. So don't expect to be able to just ring up your dad and talk to him about what's going on. If you're looking to camp within the state park, Cades Cove had an excellent little campground. With over 159 sites, it fits trailers up to 35 feet long. With the ranger station right there, they have information on hikes, weather, animals, and are available to answer questions. If you didn't bring your own, you can rent bicycles here, which is pretty cool because from May through September, on Wednesdays only, they close Cades Cove Loop and leave it open for bicycles and pedestrians only. Another campground is Elkmont. This is the largest and the busiest campground in the park. With over 200 sites, it has tent and RV sites up to 35 feet, though the average is under 27. Neither campground have water, electric, or sewer. However, There is a dump station and a water fill station located at the very beginning, right across from Sugarlands Visitors Center. We got to the park around 9 a.m. It's 3:30 now, so it was a full day venture. We have just rolled into Little Gatlinburg, and we're gonna find a place to park and go explore this cute little town. I'm gonna cut it to you straight. There were a lot of people here, but there was also moonshine and some live music. Of course, there was shopping, and more shopping, and more shopping, and more shopping. And food, lots of food, and booze, lots of booze, and cars. You could even rent one if you wanted. Did I mention you could fish in the middle of town? All that shopping had worn Steve out, so we needed to feed him. There are side alleys down the main street everywhere, and we managed to find a couple of beers and some food.
Okay, all you moms out there, look at these. My legs hurt, I'm tired. Whatever, I'm not hungry. So this here is the French dip floozy. And that right there is
The Hillbilly Philly.
If dessert's your thing, I recommend the Crazy Mason. Look at those shakes. We opted for a local brewery instead, and we tried a few different things, but it all came down to don't feed the bears. Their award-winning brown beer that I'd had at Puckett's. The next morning, we were up and headed south the 35 miles from Sugarlands down to Oconaluftee Visitors Center. About halfway there, we stopped and checked out Newfound Gap, and we also drove the little over 7-mile road up to Clingmans Dome to do the hike. Smoky Mountain National Park is divided almost equally between Tennessee and North Carolina. At Newfound Gap, you are sitting right on the state line between the two of them. It is called Newfound Gap because in the 1850s it was discovered that this passage was 300 feet lower than the previously used Indian Gap. It is also the location where Franklin D. Roosevelt dedicated the Great Smoky Mountain National Park in 1940.
And you only have 1,972 miles to the end.
From Newfound Gap, it's just a short drive to where you turn off to the Kewohee hike. Why the name change? To honor the Cherokee people who live in the area. Accessing the trail from the parking lot is very easy. The trail is fully paved all the way up, and though it is only a half-mile long, it is considered moderate to strenuous because of the incline. There are benches and places to stop along the way if you need. The Visitors Center is located a short distance up the trail, and it is the smallest of the 4 in the park. We did not get a chance to pop in, but I would suggest use the bathroom before you leave the parking lot because there aren't any at the top.
I don't know if you can see, but it's a poke up this hill. It's got an incline.
It's a reaction between the organic gases released from the forest trees and plants, along with high humidity and sunlight, causing a blue, smoky-looking fog. The Oconaluftee Visitor Center is at the south end of the park, just north of Cherokee, North Carolina, and sits on the west side of the road. It has a beautiful visitor center with books and memorabilia and some really interesting displays. Not to mention a wonderful covered porch you can sit on out back to view one of the 2 elk herds that live in the Smoky Mountains. The Mountain Farm Museum also sits on this site, and it is a self-guided walking tour that takes you through different buildings and structures that were common during rural Appalachian times over a century ago. While dogs are not allowed to go into the farm area, they are allowed to walk the Oconaluftee River Trail with you, which is an out and back 3-mile total round trip trail along the river and through woodlands. Something we'll take advantage of when we return to the Smokies is the hiking here. There are so many trails and waterfalls that you can hike to and look at. Be sure to pick up a trail guide if you go and ask the rangers for some advice because it looks spectacular. And if you're up for some unique adventure, try a carriage ride or book a trail ride. There are 2 in the park.
Are you chasing a dragonfly? What were you chasing? He says he's going to look for salamanders. I don't think that's true.
While we did enjoy our time in both Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, we enjoyed touring the national park so much more. Getting to see all of the wildlife and the trees and the scenery is just a little bit more our pace. Join us next week in Kentucky for another national park.